we going? Cool. All right. Good morning or afternoon. I don't know when you're going to watch this, but it's morning here where we are. So I wanted to give you a little information about PAT lists and what we use them for and how we get kids to create them. So in the past, the district provided some PAT lists, and some teachers gave them to students to help guide their jotting. And we got feedback that the lists were too long. It was too much for kids to kind of sort through. So we took that feedback, and now I'm going to talk to you about a couple systems we have in place to help kids make decisions about what to jot for themselves. So the first thing, and you may have seen these throughout the year, we have 2 documents that we've created that can be used as supplemental aids in their most basic form to help guide jots. So the literature one has the most tested kinds of literary terms in it. So character, setting, problem, foreshadowing and suspense, ending, figurative language, and mood. And so we give those to kids, and initially we would teach the kids, we would tell them what to jot for. So in the first couple paragraphs, we might tell them, hey, I want you to look for characters, or I want you to look for setting, because as a teacher, I pre-read it, I already know what's in there that they'll be able to look for, because they're not always going to be able to find figurative language. They shouldn't be jotting for everything in every paragraph. So this document, we gradually release it as we think aloud with them to help them make their own decisions and know that when they do see figurative language, that's a good place to stop and jot. When they do see something that would tell us something important about the setting, they can stop and jot. When they see something that tells them something about a character, they can stop and jot, so that it becomes something they do habitually as they're establishing their understanding of the text. And along the same lines, for informational text, we give them just the who, what, when, where, why, how, and that helps them establish the meaning, and then they will, generally speaking, in the context of our classrooms, have some kind of question or task that could guide their analysis of the text. Another way that we could have kids make their own PAT list when we get into test prep kinds of things is by using multiple choice questions. So for example, on this one, it says in paragraphs 1 and 5, what is the most likely reason the author contrasts today's traffic jams with flying cars of the future? So I would know as a student that in paragraph 1 and paragraph 5, I'd be looking for flying cars and traffic jams. And that's what I need to pay attention to. So we want the PAT lists to be as simple as possible to help students set their own goals for reading, because when they're overwhelmed by having to jot for a million things, it decreases the likelihood that they're going to finish in a timely manner, and it also makes our more struggling readers super frustrated. So we want to have them be as goal-oriented and targeted as possible, and that's what we mean by creating your own PAT list. Additionally, we do have some resources. So if a student isn't sure which thing to jot for, you can pull this out and give it to the kids, and then that can help them make some decisions, and we'll be modeling the use of that in our focus meeting. So thanks for sticking around with us through this whole video. Have a great day.